Hello, TV humans. Hello out there in the web world. I am here and I am going to offer a somatic inquiry practice. There is a small pea pod wandering around the room. They get bored really fast when I'm in my practice, so she probably won't stick around. She's gonna stay out of sight, most likely. So today I'm gonna do taken off the backpack of your own personality, right? I was talking to Mary Abrams yesterday. I was in New York City and I was taking a continuum class with Mary Abrams. And I was talking about who comes to continuum and when do people come to it and at what point are we ready? And she said, when people are kind of ready to let go of their personality a little bit and their identity. I don't think she said personality. I'm rephrasing what she said, but it's letting go of your identity. Like, but that's just how I am. I'm like this. Like, are we really just one way, or is there some capacity for change and shift and movement? So, in these somatic practices, this is the invitation to just take off the backpack of your personality and who you think you are and experience sensation and what's actually going on inside you. What are you actually feeling inside? What are the bubblings, the ripples, the waves, the hums, the zzz, the buzzings that are happening inside your animal body? And if we can kind of tune into those levels, it's like, oh, that stuff that I was holding here, I can kind of let that go. Some of the tightness that we have around who we are and how we need to sort of prove ourselves in the world and sort of the egoic personality that this is how I am. Is it? So the invitation is to let go of some of that today. And the Peapod's just discovering who she is, so she's probably not going to let go of her personality. She's just one. Is she one? Yeah, she's born on Mother's Day. She's over one. She's just past one. So let's start with some breathing practices. And the breathing is going to be a breath and a sound. And the sound is going to be kind of an oh ah. So it's like you're going to let yourself wow. It can be very ooh oh ah oh ooh oh ah, playing with it. So you're kind of letting the O ring, the sphincter of your lips, make different different shapes. So if we want to sort of free up ourselves from our personality, freeing our face is a great way. So I may look pretty foolish and ridiculous, and feel free to laugh at me. But the invitation is to allow yourself to free up the pattern that you hold of your own face. So we'll start with that ooh, oh, ah sound. And you don't need to sound anything like me. This is not about singing or, becoming a vocalist. This is just letting, also, this will be your thyroid, right? We'll be stimulating, or what is it, the frequency of the thyroid with that ooh, oh, ah, letting out some of your truth. Not your personality truth, but your truth as a being alive on the planet right now. So let's play with that. Taking resting breaths whenever you need them. Feeling how that lands on a body level, right? Uh, you can let this be really a play, and there's definitely no right and wrong. When we're really playing and we're lost in play, there's no right and wrong. So we want to go into that, offering yourself the freedom for your face to express in any kind of ways that, like, things may pop out that are kind of surprising, or like give it some freedom. And it might have, it's almost like you're chewing in your face sometimes, letting it be alive and awake and vital. So we're kind of letting some of the stuff that's holding in there, this is me and this is how I hold my face, open up. If any micro movement comes in, invite it in. That's part of the play. So you could be moving all over the place. You could just be moving a little bit, whatever feels good to you. You could say that we're exploring the resonance of the sounds that you're making. So just exploring this resonant, freeing up the personality in the face. Listening to the sounds inside of your head, letting that be part of your dance. So however it's playing out for you, could be totally different than me. So as I'm in this, I'm starting to really become aware of like sort of the density of my jaw and my teeth, feeling my tongue. Like this part of me is really awakening with this sound. I often say allow yourself to land in your body as if you're an alien and you have no idea what's possible. So all of the story of your life, it doesn't even exist in this alien version. It's like, whoa, here I am in this meat suit. Alien wouldn't think of it as a meat suit maybe, but this flesh, here I am in this living system, very fluid living system. So when we start to tune to those sounds, we also start to vibrate the fluids in our system, right? We're not just vibrating the density, we're vibrating all the fluid. So let's play with that and let movement come in. So in Continuum, they talk about like wave-like and tentacle movement, inviting in the waves and the tentacles of your fluid body, as if you've never experienced this before. This is brand new moment in this brand new body that you're figuring out what it can do. So it's a play, it's curious, curiouser and curiouser, right? Whoa, what can happen? Resting breaths whenever you need them, sound whenever you need it. I'm going to offer one more sound, and this sound is the theta breath. So it's a very soft hiss. And just feeling into what that is for you. So let's do theta just for a few breaths. So the flavor for me of the theta breath is very different than the ooh. And also when we come into these practices, like every day is a different day in your body. And if we're coming in with into an open field, it's going to be different every time. So don't come in with a preconceived notion or the predictive processing plan of what's going to happen and where you're going to go. Just coming in like, what is this today? What is this going to be today? So playing back and forth between the theta, that's soft hissing sound, and the ooh ah. You can let your face free up even more. In Continuum, there's a breath called the petal breath, and it's as if your mouth is like a flower that's blossoming and then closing up. And it doesn't have to be like this even thing that's happening like that, right? It could be different things going on. And I found like that really helps me free up my face and free up who I am in the world. I mean, obviously you can't go around doing this like, or can you? But whenever you need that moment of coming into self and exploration and something new, never done this before, try it. Ooh. it may become interesting to sort of feel the inner and outer contours of your body. So, like the contours of your surfaces. And then even on the inside, like there are these whoosh contours of the heart, of the DNA spirals, right? All the stuff inside has these shapely contours. I don't know, I'm into the word contours right now. So it's like you can come around with that movement. So letting yourself play in any way that feels good. You could be laying down, seated, standing, anything that feels good, playing with those sounds. As I lay down, I become much more aware of the whole central channel of my body. And when I'm making that sound, like the sphincters from my mouth all the way down, there's a lot of them in your body that stop your food from coming back up and then eliminate it altogether, right? So feeling into those O-ring muscles that are working in your body, maybe, because that's going to be probably something you don't spend a lot of time thinking about. So throwing one more thing into the mix, what's happening at these edges of your body, these distal edges? Also could be the distal edges of your space, right? Your hemisphere. And I mean the space around your body, your potential movement space. So I don't mean actually the space that you're in, although you could pay attention to that too. But I mean the space that you're moving in, the potential like sphere around your body of where it can move. And inviting yourself to let go of who you think you are. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? If it feels really interesting to be who you are, by all means, you can do that too. So if that's a fun thing, like, oh, I love being me, it's so great, then go for it. But if you want to find like spaciousness that for other possibilities that might also be great, feel free to let go of that. Like take off the backpack of your own personality, of your persona. I got a kitty in here again, the little squeaky beaks, who's just also orbiting the perimeter of the room, staying off screen. Oh, you can let any kind of noises out. So the breaths that I offer and the sounds that I offer are just an entryway. They're a door in. If something else becomes interesting, then just go in that room, check it all out. Go into that environment. I'm going to add music. And this music is by Jeff Gersh. And all of it is actually guitar music that is not made with digital accoutrement. So it's kind of unusual because it sounds like it is, but it's also got this sort of organic quality. Feel free to keep using sounds or not, as feels good to you. So we have the theta breath as one sound, the ooh-ah, wow is another sound, and then anything that you make up as another sound. And here's the squeaky deek. Coming in, inviting in the unknown, inviting in the curiosity, inviting in possibility, letting go of whatever you think would or should or could happen so that you're in the space of what is actually happening. And if you feel like you're planning ahead, then let go of that and go somewhere different. Just gonna turn it up a little bit more. Not sure how it is for you guys in TV land, but it's really quiet for me. Oh, I have cat hair all over my face. You could imagine that you are a body of water and you're just pouring yourself around the floor, pouring yourself around your chair, around your room, around your bed. When we really go deeply into sensation and into movement, for me, it's a lot easier to let go of the story, to let go of all the things. I can come in here and just swim in being, in my aliveness, in my breath, in the sounds. And the exploration may be really big for you, or maybe really small. Or maybe small little micro movements underlying the big expansive movements. Movement hydrates tissue. Breath hydrates tissue. Movement and breath stimulate your lymphatic system. So that's health, right? That's a detoxifier of your body. body may be opening while another part is closing. In fact, it's most likely that that's the way it's going to work. Allowing your experience of being to have some dynamic, like, capacity, that being isn't just one thing. There's many different sort of senses, there's many different things that you can notice, there's many different ways of being in any moment. I can be very different from moment to moment in my internal and external expression. So giving yourself full permission to play with whatever feels good in your body, to play with the internal and external expression. Just by playing with sensation. Like, what if you were a single-celled creature? How would the movement be for you? Where's your nucleus? What's happening on the surface? What does it feel like to get bigger, to grow away from center? And then what does it feel like to come back into center? So we can make these changes just by expanding away and then coming back in, right? Shifting perspectives and allowing our capacity to be more alive so that we have all of these possibilities of movement. All of these possibilities of being. If I lighten up my movement, if my movement becomes more light, how does that feel in my body? If my movement becomes more fluid, how does that feel in my body? If my movement becomes more exploratory, how does that feel? Right? If I think I know where I'm going, let me go somewhere different. Let me shift it. And I can also play with time, with fluctuations of time, things speeding up and things slowing down. So I'm just throwing in some effort ideas, some dynamics of movement. And if I really want to get exciting, I can throw pauses in there. Move and then stop for a second. Or go fast and then go slow. Shifting it around. As soon as like this time thing has come in, it's become very silly for me. I don't know, it becomes entertaining in a different way. Very stable, grounded people tend to not have a lot of time in their bodies and their expression. And that means where things change, things speed up, or things slow down. Stable people kind of move around with this even sense of time. Often, not always. They could be volatile, but let's say they're not volatile. So then there's this evenness. Breathing. Join me if you're watching. Move, practice movement. It doesn't have to look like me. It's the curiousness of what happens when we're moving. How can I move? And what feels good? What can I let go of? relationship from the center out to my edges? Can I shift it around so that it keeps changing, so that it becomes more dynamic? And this could just be in breath, right? I could just be laying there breathing and feeling into that on this micro level. But today, for me, like I'm in a big movement mode. I'm in macro movement, which feels really good to me. It's, yeah, like I'm just greasing up the whole inside of my body, the WD-40. And as I'm moving in all these different ways, the tissue in my body gets all of this capacity to be different, to move differently, to engage differently, right? To hold on to different things, to let go of different things. And in this space of movement, for me, it's very easy to let go of the whole story of my life, of all the things, and just come into sensations and be in the sounds and in the feelings. Like I'm feeling the floor, I feel my body, I feel the air, the temperature. I hear the sounds of the floor, of the music, of other people in the house, of my breath. Ah. And I can slow down when I notice something and really feel into that, right? It doesn't all have to be moving all the time. And my sensation can be very global, or one place over here, one place over here, and something over there, or it can be really pinpointed, and I'm just noticing really into one area, very focused. Seeing what we can let go of in our neck and throat. Seeing what we can let go of in our face. Just coming back into that. I'm going to turn the sound down. Maybe if I can get to it. There we go. Yeah, that's Ambient Fields, Jeff Gersh. Coming back into your face. And let's just do a few more of the sounds before I end this. So coming in with the theta, soft hiss, letting that ripple through your tissues, your body. Becoming very aware of my occipital ridge and my head connecting onto my spine. So this relationship of really head tail, but especially up here, head, neck, axis and atlas, jaw, all the things in there. And then the other sound, the ooh, ah, ooh, the sort of pedally breath opening and closing. Let's go with that for a couple minutes. Letting your face just do whatever. So this may look really weird and scrunchy and like all sorts of little nervous system kind of rattlings and jigglings. It's great if you can allow that to happen, right? So you're not holding the pattern of your face, but you're allowing it to bubble up. Understand that even if you free it up, you can always come back into control. It's not like, oh, I let go of control and now suddenly everything's out of control. No, if you've had that good of control for your life, you can have it again. Will take 1 second to snap back in. So don't be afraid of letting go. Right? You could always come back. It might be slightly different, but you can come back. So working with that. So if you do feel like you're going too far, you're going too deep, just come up, look around the room, see your space, come back into being you in your body. Any version of that is fine. So I'm going to end it there. Had a bunch of people coming and going throughout this. So thank you. Yeah. And enjoy your day. Please like and subscribe. And watch for hours on end because I need to get my hours up before I can go to even be on like, I don't know. I don't even know if this is fitness and health and all that kind of stuff, but